The Blackhawks hold on and beat the Islanders on the back of Arvid Soderblom's 44 saves. Join us for the postgame show next. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks post-game podcast presented by Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the Bet365 app and use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. Hawks win 4-3 over the Islanders.
Smooth sailing the whole way.
Never in doubt.
Never worry.
Oh, boy. That third period was something to behold, but we've got a lot to talk about beyond that. Do us a favor. Hit that like button. We are already almost at 100 likes. I'll leave Noodle Man on, assuming we're going to get there. Every 100 likes, Noodle Man gets reactivated. We appreciate that. Subscribe, like if you're catching up later on the podcast. We love you and thank you. Make sure you're following or subscribed on your favorite podcast app. So let's take the third period. We're going to put it over here for a second,
put it in the corner,
and we're going to talk about that later. Right now, we got to talk about the young stars of this team. Anton Frondell comes in,
15 of them,
gets his first NHL assist on the Nick Lardis, or I'm sorry, on the second goal, the game-leading goal to Mikheyev. Pulls it up calmly. The Hawks are in transition. He's got Bedard right next to him, and he's got Mikheyev. He takes a look, scans it, and sees that if he just pulls back a little bit and sends it forward, it's going to spring Mikheyev, and Mikheyev didn't miss. A super mature play from him. You had an awesome night from Nick Lardis, who had a goal and 2 assists of his own.
Hell yeah.
Frank Nazar with a multi-point night. Yes, third period. It's over here, remember? It's over here in this little box. It's hammered shut for the moment.
Talk about it later.
But overall, a really impressive night from a young team who, let's be honest, you got a guy who's never played with any of them ever before.
Mm-hmm.
And you got some guys who have never played on a line before with Burakovsky down and things moving around.
Tirabassi shifted around. Against
a team that desperately needed a win.
Yeah.
And you came out and took 2 points on their home ice. No matter how ugly this box over here is, it doesn't matter. It's 2 points. And that's the Hawks can leave this game with some adjustments to make, and they will at practice tomorrow. Yeah. But overall, feeling pretty good about things.
Yeah. To start off a 4-game road trip with a win is big. It gets the good momentum going for the group, and especially on a night where you're getting a debut from a young guy. You even though it's on the road, this is a big game. For the group and for the fan base and everything. Like there's something to play for, and like you said, on the other side, there is a team in the Islanders that is playing for their playoff hopes, and to get a regulation win is big. To get the kind of response in the first period that they did was huge. On the broadcast, I think if I'm getting the stat correct, they said it was the first time they've scored 3 goals in the first period since I think October 28th.
Yeah, October
which
something.
Was 15 years ago, it feels like. And coming off, allowing a goal on the first shift of the game. And it's, Anton Frondell is out there making his debut. Mm-hmm. And Bedard says, here, go take the face off. And, you feel like, I'm sure Frondell's got all the nerves in his body that he's ever felt before. And then they go out and score on the first shift. And it's just like, well, that stinks. But they were able to, recover from it. And you get 1, you get 2, you get 3. It kind of snowballed in that second half of the first period, which we've seen happen against this team a number of times,
100%.
Not just this year, but over the last few years. And now they were able to do it to somebody else. That felt really good. You had the Islanders have to go through a goalie change in between the first and second period, so you felt really good. You got the 4th goal in the second period as well. You want to stack those experiences for these young guys, and We've seen earlier this year, second periods were really a struggle. They've had some pretty good second periods in recent games. And it used to be, they could always kind of pull themselves back into the fight in the third period. And now they've kind of had some third periods where you're either holding on for dear life or you're chasing games. As far as I can recall, not too many comfortable third periods in recent games. But again, it's going to be like that kind of progress for these young guys. We've gone through a big transition period with this team post deadline, and now you add Frondell, you're going to add Boisvert probably Thursday.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be another step back to move forward again.
Well, it's something that, and I'm glad to see they're getting some results here, because when you look at March in general, Utah, Winnipeg, Vancouver, Dallas, Utah, Vegas, Minnesota, Colorado, Nashville, Islanders. These are all teams that are battling for playoff positioning, right? Even if they're securely in the playoffs, they're trying to move up. They're trying to not be a wild card. They're trying to be one of the top 3 in their division, etc. So all these games are battles, and these teams since the trade deadline, that's kind of the marker for contenders. Think back to the Hawks dynasty era. The deadline was when the Hawks would sort of turn things on again. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, it's time to get serious. We've been kind of just rope-a-doping people through the last few months, the dog days of the season here. Now we got a month left of the regular season, month plus. Yeah. Let's really turn on the Jets and get into playoff mode. And all those teams I just listed are in that very same mode right now.
That's how that Colorado game felt.
Yeah. And Colorado was like, oh yeah, it's playoff season right now. Yeah. And it's something that they're going to have to deal with. It's something that it's going to be a really good lesson for them, because there aren't really any stakes standing wise for the Hawks. Of course they want to win every game. They're going to try to win every game, but it's nice to see, as Blashill did with Frondell today, like, just go learn by experience. Yeah. And you saw at the end of the game today, Hawks are up a goal late. Connor Bedard is out there on the ice with the net empty for the Islanders. And look, I think he had one of his not great games of the year, Connor Bedard, but still had earned the opportunity to be out there and experience what it's like to hold off an onslaught. Mm-hmm. And they ended up winning the game. So I just like the way that Jeff Blashill is approaching the end of the season and saying, F it, go. Mm-hmm. Go. And like he said to Frondell before the game, you're going to make mistakes, and that's fine. Yeah. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. We're going to learn from mistakes. Go out there, play your game, be confident. And I think what we saw from Frondell and a lot of the young players today was just that, playing their game and playing with confidence, regardless of how the game was going at the moment.
Yeah, and I think you saw that opening period from Frondell. Like, you definitely saw him playing slower than I think he's going to moving forward, because I think he's thinking a lot of trying to figure out the game at the NHL. Like, he's literally learning on the fly. But as the game moved on, it seemed like he kind of slowed down in the right way. That he was able to kind of pick it up a little bit more and feel a little bit more comfortable as the game went on. Those nerves go away after that first period. And he made a couple of good plays, especially in the third period. He had that turnover he forced in the Hawks defensive zone, went back the other way, got the puck to Bedard, and then Bedard got it back to him, and he got a shot off. Like, that's something that, those types of small plays can make a big difference in a young guy's confidence. Not just Frondell, but also, Lardis was making a lot of really good plays tonight.
The Nazar goal, he just went and took the puck from Mayfield behind the net, muscled him off the puck, and fed it in front to Nazar. That's a play I did not expect to see Nick Lardis make this year.
Yeah, talk about two guys that are working really well together since they got put together a couple of games ago. Like, I can't imagine Nick Lardis will. If he keeps up playing like that, there's no way he'll ever be put on the, hey, we need you to prove it on the fourth line, kid. No way he should ever have to do that if he keeps having offensive games like this. And that is a play that he made, a really good offensive play to set up Nazar. But the reason he had the chance to do it is because he made a great defensive play. And that is the quintessential lesson. Put that on tape of this is what Jeff Blashill means when he says, the winning style of hockey. You make that play defensively to turn it into something offensive. And all these young guys that have a lot of like offensive skill to their game, if they can all make those defensive plays or have the opportunity to make those plays, then you can highlight your offensive skill set without it having to be someone else has to do the job so that I can play offensively. If you all can make the defensive play, we know Nick Lardis can be a goal scorer. We know Frank Nazar can be a playmaker. We know Connor Bedard and Anton Frondell and all these guys are able to have that offensive side. That's why they're first and second and early round picks. So once you get that defensive game in you, and you don't have to be winning Selkies, but if you have that defensive game in you to where you could be reliable across the board in your own zone defensively, the offense is going to be there.
Definitely. And it's, like you said, you don't have to be Frank J. Selke out there every shift, but just having the willingness to play that style. And we saw, I hate to keep referencing the dynasty, but it's true. Like solid team defense leads a team offense. And you could look back at those teams and say, there's one guy who probably played one-dimensionally, and that was Patrick Kane. But then later in Patrick Kane's career, when he adopted a more well-rounded game, he had his best individual season statistically, right? Like he was able to put up big numbers, and it was after the cup runs, but he became a more complete player later in his career. Frankly, when the Hawks needed him to be more than just one-dimensional. When they were winning cups, it's like, hey, we got Hossa, we got Sharp, we got Taves, like, just do your thing, score your goals. But when they needed more from him, he was able to add that too. So, look, we're not asking for any of these guys to be Patrice Bergeron, Jonathan Taves prime. But the message that Blashill is pounding into their heads is you've got to play this responsible way. And if we're all pulling from the same rope, we're going to get good results. And you mentioned the Frondell play in the third. A couple more I marked here because our buddy Petey is coming on tomorrow. Steve Peters to do a breakdown of Frondell's debut, so don't miss that tomorrow at 3. A defensive play on the first shift of the second period. The Islanders have a chance to score, and he ties up a stick right in front of the net, preventing a shot. About 12:30 left in the second. He gets a shot on goal, then rushes back to defend the Islanders player who was entering the zone. Had a really impressive game at both ends of the ice, and you could see when Jeff Blashill talks about the maturity he sees from Anton Frondell. That's what he's talking about. And the other thing, too, is I think it shows that he has that belief in himself, too, because I think a lot of times you'd see a young player like get their shot on goal and it misses, and then they're kind of like caught in between, like, what do I do? No, he just immediately got on his horse, went back to defend. That's the stuff we're talking about. That's the sort of stuff when you've got 12 forwards playing that way with varying levels of offensive skill, chances are you're going to be a pretty good defensive team. You weren't tonight, but chances are down the road you'll be a pretty good defensive team.
I mean, it wasn't perfect, but they didn't completely break.
They did not completely break.
And you got to give flowers to Arvid Soderblom.
Well, we're going to right now because it is time to nominate our Game Day Men's Health Game Puck nominees. Better father, better husband, better man. Go to GameDayCHGO.com to find the locations closest to you. We've got 4 candidates today. The aforementioned Arvid Soderblom is one of them. Stopped 44 of 47 Islanders shots. Made just an insane save in the third period where he was down and out and just stuck the glove up and got a piece of it. A lot of spectacular saves from him today. There was another post-to-post in the second period where he was sort of falling but got a piece of the puck. Yeah. Really, really good. So he's one nominee. Second nominee is Nick Lardis. A goal, 2 assists, had only 1 shot on goal and 2 shot attempts, but a really good game. Frank Nazar with a goal and an assist of his own, 4 shot attempts for him, and Anton Frondell in his NHL debut, an assist, 2 shots, 5 shot attempts, a hit, a block shot, and 15:44 of ice time for him today. Unfortunately, the power play was not able to get set up very much today. They were having trouble getting set up. I really cannot wait to see Frondell unleash that shot because I tweeted it during the game. That third period shot he had, you're seeing goalies react to his shots the way they react to Bedard's, where they're like, whoa, they're just kind of like ducking and throwing their arms up. Like, how did that get here so quickly?
Yeah.
So expect Anton Frondell to hit every knob of every goalie stick for the rest of eternity because that's apparently what Bedard does.
Yeah. I mean, there was a few times he was able to get that shot off, but yeah, being able to now he'll be able to get some reps with the team. He'll be, we'll see if they practice tomorrow. I mean, probably doubt it if they're got to travel. And
they said they're practicing tomorrow, but it would surprise me. Okay. They're scheduled for practice in Philly tomorrow. All right. Well, I mean, that's that's hour and a half flight if they even fly. So they could probably do it. Wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Take the train.
What is the last time they held a practice?
It's been a while.
I mean,
just how they've condensed the schedule has been crazy.
I think they've had maybe one practice since the deadline, maybe two. I heard Blashill say he was talking about the penalty kill the other day and how now Levshunov is getting penalty kill time. It's like, it's pretty amazing the way he's adjusted because we haven't had time to practice it.
His reps on the PK are coming in
game. Right. And you could do a little bit morning skate, and Blashill says he's always trying to accomplish something every morning skate, but the morning skate's the morning skate, man. Like there's only so much you can get done.
You don't really do much, but I mean, I mean, if they can practice, I'd imagine they would, but that's going to be necessary for Frondell, for Boisvert, just to get some more reps and get some more familiarity with these guys and in the lineup. And but yeah, I'm excited to see how his game grows on the power play, and I think, as Blashill said, like throwing him into the fire, go for it. Like he seems like a guy that's going to be able to handle it.
All right, we are going to hit the break zone for the first time. Dilemma Girl asks, where do we vote? It's right there next to the chat on the YouTube page. You can get your vote in for your game puck winner. In the meantime, we are 16 likes away from 300, so when we come back, I expect Noodle Man to be dancing. Mm-hmm. Talk to you in 120 seconds and a little bit of change on CHGO Blackhawks. Good, better, best. Chicago is home to that wonderful three-word slogan, and our friends at Bet365 have one of their own early payout offer. Here's how it works. Your team goes up 10 points at any point in the game. Bet365 pays out your bet right there on the spot. It's that simple. Bet365, where winning is everything. They're currently running their bet $5, get $150 promo. Any new Bet365 user will get $150 in bonus bets after depositing 10 and placing a bet for 5. It's that simple. So download the app, use our code CHGO365 at Bet365, where winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in Illinois. Please gamble responsibly. Must be present in Illinois. $10 minimum deposit required. Bonus bet wager excluded from returns. New customers only. 21 plus only. Time limits, minimum odds, and terms and conditions apply. The offer is in-app only and void where prohibited.
Every week, it feels like around here in the Chicagoland parts, we are getting all 4 seasons every week. Summer, fall, winter, spring, the 4 of them. Make sure your home is ready for each season that it's going to throw at you every day of the week with our friends at 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Sewer, and Electric. They can guarantee same-day installation for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays, which is, of course, when things break and you need things to get fixed. 4 Seasons is your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric, and they have been in the Chicagoland area for over 50 years. And speaking of 50, you can call today and save $50 from 4 Seasons. You can also visit 4seasonsheatingcooling.com for all of their special offers and money-saving coupons. Again, that's 4seasonsheatingcooling.com for every square inch of your home.
All right, we're back on CHGO Blackhawks, and look, you did it. Noodle Man is back on. 325 likes. We love to see that. Keep them coming. We appreciate it big time. We also appreciate the many, many super chats we've received so far, and it feels like after every win, our buddy Adrian chimes in with a big one. This is $50 from Adrian. Says, I like the way this Blackhawks team looks up and down the lineup. Keep Turbo on the 4th line. Where do you guys think Sasha Boisvert is going to play? That's a pretty good question. Boisvert is probably going to make his debut on Thursday. I think you could just very easily slot him in for Sam Lafferty as your 4th line center.
I think that's where he's going to be. Makes sense. I think that's you don't have to throw him into the fire. He's got a much different vibe coming into the group than Frondell does. Not to say that it's bad. It's a clean slate kind of opportunity for him after, some college years that maybe he probably envisioned going differently. But I think you put him in that 4th line role. You put him with Tavo. That's a good veteran to put him with. And you get to shelter him a bit, play him down the middle, give him an opportunity to play at center. That's what he's been playing in college. So yeah, I think that's a good spot to put him in. I don't think you'd put him I don't think you need to put him up the lineup for any reason.
No,
no. Demote, but move like a guy like Donato down. I don't think you need to do that. You play him on the fourth line.
Yeah, play him on the fourth line, and if he shows you a little more, then move him up. I don't think there's any problem with that, but I think he's the guy who's going to be chomping at the bit to make a good first impression on Blackhawks fans.
He's going to fight. He's going to fight on Thursday.
Find a flyer and punch them. All right, next up, let's go to Louis, $5 super chat, who says, "Oh, so that's what happens when you put good players together and put them in positions to succeed." Now I get it. This is what Jeff Blashill's thinking right now. Yeah, I think he was waiting for an opportunity, perhaps, to move Andrei Burakovsky down.
Man, he really swerved us with his post-game comments the other night.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
I don't want to be against Andrei Burakovsky. When he's playing good, the team's better. Obviously.
Absolutely.
But it made too much sense to put Frondell with Bedard and to keep Ryan Green with Bedard. Those two have been working well together too this season. So those three as a trio.
13-28, by the way, for Burakovsky.
Not a wonderful game as a whole from that line, but good enough, I think.
Yeah.
Especially with a guy that you've never played with before.
Right.
Like it's one of those kinds of situations. Moving Lardis up again, he deserved it the way that he was playing, the way that he plays the game, the style and skill set that he has doesn't fit with Sam Lafferty and Landon Slaggert.
No,
it fits with a guy like Frank Nazar, and it works with him and Bertuzzi.
I really like Burakovsky as a third line depth scoring option. There you go.
Yes.
Green Eyes, $20
if he could score.
Yeah, Green Eyes for $20 says fantastic game. Totally a Nick Lardis. See what I can do with good players game. He and Frank should stay together. They already have a BFF handshake.
Yes,
I'm all for that. Absolutely.
Yes.
$5 from Aaron says, I think I see that Soderblom gets so many saves is because he gives up so many rebounds.
True.
May Lardis forever be stable to Nazar's line going forward. That is certainly a factor. That is my big criticism of Soderblom, is that there are too many second chance opportunities, too many pucks that should be absorbed that are not. And the Hawks are outshot 47-24. Did it feel that bad?
Yes. That third period.
The third period was bad. But it didn't feel like a 50 burger.
92 shot attempts tonight.
That's insane.
By the Islanders, including 49 in the third period.
90 shot attempts is what triggered my Utah hockey game rant.
Well, at least it was 92-47 for the Hawks, for the Islanders in shot attempts. That game, it was like 93-20.
Yeah,
it was
awful.
Embarrassing.
And obviously a loss.
But the Islanders had 49 shot attempts in the third period. The Hawks had 47 in the game. They had 23 shots on goal in the third period.
Hang on, open the box. Okay, the third period box is
23 shots on goal in the third period alone. The Hawks had 24 in the game. 56 scoring chances.
That's some home cooking. I'm sorry.
By the Islanders in the game. 26 scoring chances. This is all strengths, by the way. 26 scoring chances in the third period. The Blackhawks had 24 in the game. 27 high danger chances in the game for the Islanders to the Hawks 12. They had a 5.6 expected goals for rate today, but only got 3. Arvid Soderblom, even though, yes, there are a lot of rebounds bouncing off of him that they don't with Spencer Knight. He made the saves when he needed to. He came up with some big saves that some games from Arvid Soderblom, even the ones he should make, go in the back of the net. There were some saves that he made extra effort. And
that one that trickled in, was it the third one that trickled in? I mean, the Cal Ritchie one.
Pad,
yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do?
He had a fantastic game, getting peppered with shots. This was the third time in his last 6 starts that he's faced 40+ shots. A big game for him.
Tighten up a little bit.
Just absorb. His pads are too new.
Yeah, let's get some memory foam in there.
Baseball glove.
Let's see some more super chats here, Chloe, real quick. Mike for $10 says, "How do we fix our zone exits? Time, experience, coaching. Our inability to leave our own zone is our biggest liability." Yes, That is a big part of it. When you have a decor that the oldest player is 24, you're going to have some struggles exiting the zone, putting passes on the money. I also think, too, as the Islanders have their foot on the gas and they're just chancing, just peppering your goalie with shots, you're getting exhausted. Your mental focus starts to fade as your physical fitness starts to wear a little bit. So it's kind of a big snowball effect. But, you look at some of the plays they made offensively, started from the DN too. So it wasn't all bad, but the third period was abysmal with the zone exits for sure.
Yeah. I think to the point that, kind of we were talking about practice, like with a group that goes through the changes that they did, sometimes getting back into your structure and your system through practice reps is good for things like that.
Yes.
And especially with so many young guys, like just kind of getting more familiarity with how they want to set up and expect to exit the zone, like that can be something that can benefit them. So all the more reason to still have practice tomorrow.
Absolutely. We'll get back to some of your super chats a little bit later. I don't want to just spend an entire segment on them. But stick around. We got something cool coming up for everybody at the end of the next break in 5 minutes. I see that Frondell is speaking. I know Frank Nazar was on the CHSN postgame, was it? Mm-hmm. And basically said, we don't win this game without Arvid Soderblom. And that is correct.
Yeah, for sure.
So, it's good to see he recognizes that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Nazar a little bit because Chloe's working on a stat card. And I know you have the stats handy, Chloe, about how Nazar is doing in terms of multi-point games and everything since the All-Star break.
Yes. Well,
Olympic
I
break.
just did it.
Olympic break, thank
Olympic break, but I just did it within the last 10 games.
Okay.
Even. So it depends. It's going to look a little bit different because I haven't calculated. Like one of them is just like average time on ice, which is right now it's 19-20. I don't know what it was tonight. But it's 11 points in the last 10, and then he also has 5 multi-point games.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So is all his points all in those 5 games?
In 10 games.
Or 10 games?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
1642 tonight, so it lowers the average a little bit.
Yep.
But still, I mean, this is what you want to see Nazar doing, is being a factor every night. One thing I want to see him work on in the offseason, though, is connecting on one-timers, connecting on cross-ice passes. I see a lot of him fanning on scoring opportunities, and I don't know if it's like he gets a little bit excited when he sees the opportunity coming and he whiffs sometimes, but just some real focus on connecting the pucks in motion. You had that 2-on-0 with Tyler Bertuzzi where they go back and forth, and then he gets it over to Nazar. Nazar doesn't even get a shot on goal.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he chases his own whiff and gets it right out to Lardis, and they score anyway.
Yeah.
But for a guy who you're paying what you're paying him and the expectations you have for him
starting next year,
you want to see those chances converted initially.
Yeah.
Not, well, good, he followed up his whiff and got it to somebody who scored.
Right.
No, you want to see him bury those opportunities. And look, the goal he scored today, the one that Lardis set up, I went in the puck battle for Mayfield, sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like one-timer on the money. That thing was, a laser beam. So great. But I feel like I often see him fanning or whiffing on really good scoring opportunities. So let's buckle down and get that taken
maybe
care
it might
of.
be an equipment change. Who knows? Change the lie of his stick, maybe. Or
Sure,
stick blade.
yeah.
I don't know.
Get the old Sam Makita banana blade.
Why not? Yeah, put it in the door jam. And
They have it at Blackhawks Ice Center in the Hall of Fame.
It's like a curve like
It's
this.
like an L.
No, I think with Nazar, like his confidence, he'll never say he's low on confidence, but I think his confidence was a little bit challenged when he was going through his streaky period, and obviously, like, he was dealing not feeling 100%, dealing with some health
Definitely,
stuff, playing through it. But now, like, he got the rest from the Olympic break, and same thing with Bedard. Like, feels like those guys got healthier, and they came back and they've like kind of picked up the pace of what they had earlier in the season, and that's just going to boost the confidence for a guy like Frank Nazar, because he knows that he can impact the game in other ways other than the score sheet, and that's what he can lean on in the way that he plays. But getting production and getting points and scoring and making plays, like that's where he's that's why he's gotten the extension that he has. And that's the kind of player he can be. So when he's getting those results, that's only going to be, good for him moving forward with feeling like, he belongs and feeling like he can, play in the top 6 and be a guy that you can rely on night in and night out to either get on the score sheet or set up good offensive chances or be a guy that's going to make an impact defensively. Like if he can be a player that every night is doing something that impacts the final score in one way, shape, or form, like he's going to be an effective player.
That's it. All right, we're going to hit the break zone one more time. While we do that, you hit the like button. We're 15 away from 400. I know we can get there, and stick around because when we come back, Chloe's going to reveal something very, very cool that you can take advantage of in a moment on CHGO Blackhawks. Our friends at Sunnyside Dispensary are here to elevate your baseball season. Baseball season under. Oop, don't want to do that. Might get sued. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free shopping. They've got a huge selection with over 100 strains to choose from with easy online ordering and in-store pickup. So wherever you are in Illinois, Sunnyside has a spot for you. As far south as Champaign and as far north as South Beloit. Stop in the store nearest you for expert guidance from their staff. I know it can be scary to go to a dispensary. You don't want to feel like you don't know anything. You don't want to feel like you know too much because then you're like, wow, look at this guy. Cheech and Chong over here, right? Jeez. Ugh. They're going to make you feel comfortable at Sunnyside. Whatever you're looking for, they've got it. Head to their website for only the best under the sun, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases with our code HICHGO at checkout. Sunnyside Dispensary, only the best under the sun, only for 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders.
What kind of dreams did you have when you were a kid? What did you want to be when you grew up, Jay?
Podcaster.
Look at you, living the dream.
Did it.
How about now? What's your dream now, Jay?
Someday retire.
Did you want to start your own business?
Oh, yeah, yes. That's what I meant.
Well,
yes.
If you do, then Shopify is the e-commerce platform for you. They are behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., including Shopify powering the CHGO merch store. You can get Jay's zip-up hoodie there. One of our original designs. Game worn. Yes, Shopify has you covered with website creation, product descriptions, emails, social media marketing, and so much more. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial starting today at shopify.com/allcity. That's shopify.com/allcity.
All right, we are back on CHGO Blackhawks, and Chloe, our wonderful producer, made these for you guys today. A couple new Blackhawks Over Everything CHGO wallpapers. Nice. They are available right now on our CHGO Blackhawks Twitter and Blue Sky accounts. So head over to CHGO_Blackhawks or CHGO Blackhawks.bsky.social. And you can, it's awkward,
slash CHGO-Blackhawks HTML.bsky.social. Right off the tongue.
Yes. But they're available for you to download it right now. Throw them still up there. Those are great. Love those pictures. Great job, Chloe, as always. You did.
Almost.
She flew out to the island, took the pictures, and came back in time for postgame.
Not that island. Oh, no.
Wrong island. That's not the island you want.
Staten Island.
So thank you very much for that. Excuse me, lost my train of thought there. Can we talk about Alex Vlasic? I know it's like the last thing on a lot of people's minds tonight, but
far away from it.
Yeah. If you've not been paying attention, he has really turned up the offense in his game lately. Tonight he played 25-20, had an assist, was a +1, 3 shots on goal, 7 shot attempts, a hit, 2 takeaways, and 3 block shots. Like
all over the place.
But 7 shot attempts for Alex Vlasic, including 3 on net. That is a marked change in the way he is approaching the game right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's taken some time to develop more of that all-around game, and I think we started to see it a bit last year when Seth Jones was traded, and Vlasic was kind of looked at as just like, okay, you look around the defensive group, like where's the offense coming from? He kind of had to look at himself a little bit and be like, well, it's not necessarily the high point of my game, but it's definitely something that he could tap into. He was a guy in college that put up some decent production. But as he got to the NHL, it was more just like, okay, you're going to be more of a defensive guy, more, sound in your own zone and be someone that can play in transition. But now it's just like, okay, you've started to grow that part of your game. You're starting to kind of settle into being that guy, but there's still some offensive potential for him to tap into. And there's still a little bit of a need offensively from the blue line for a guy like him to kind of step up as Sam Renzel and Artyom Levshunov start to grow their offensive games. Then it can, you kind of balance out a little bit more of the, the scale of how much offense is needed from the defenseman. But we've seen his confidence with the puck grow. He's taken the puck by himself from the Blackhawks zone into the offensive zone a number of times. It's definitely good to see a guy that can kind of take it upon himself as he's matured in his game to kind of say like, hey, like if other guys aren't doing it, let me, go out there and try and make it an offensive impact in the game.
And his partner tonight, Artyom Levshunov, who had a couple holy crap moments in this one. I will gotta admit that. 23-12 of ice time. He was a -1. He had 2 shots on goal of his own, 7 shot attempts, 4 hits, and 2 block shots. Was not credited with a takeaway or a giveaway. There were a couple zone clearances where he kind of whiffed on the puck a little bit, and it rolled right to Islanders. That happened at least twice. But one thing I did like about his game was he was using that stick and using his skating ability to sort of drive forwards into the corner where it looked like maybe Barzal or Anders Lee or one of the more offensively minded Islanders players had a step on him. He can kind of close that and steer them off the puck. It doesn't always have to be, you're face to face with them and you ride them into the boards.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can speak. But instead, just keeping calm, staying pace, and then using that, closing off your shoulder to push the attacker off from it or away from the middle of the ice towards the boards. Yeah. That's fine. If the guy goes behind the net, that's fine. You've lived to fight another day. It doesn't always have to be a SWAT puck clear. Just minimize the damage. And I think the more success he has in those moments, the more it will become a habit for him as opposed to an occasional, oh, look, he did that this game. It'll start to become the norm for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that the physical side of the game is something that a lot of the defensemen can start to lean into more, so to say, like being able to, they've got size. Levshunov's a big guy. Vlasic's a big guy. Krevie's a big guy. Like they shouldn't be pushed around.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that that's something that, and again, like it's hard to kind of like teach that, as far as like welcoming the physical side of the game, like being like, hey, it's one thing to say like, hey, go out and hit a guy.
Yeah.
It's another thing to have the player have it kind of in their game, in their DNA to be like, I'm not going to just try and like make a cerebral play and be like, I know I need to tie up a stick. I know I need to be in this position. Sometimes it's just, I'm just going to move.
Use your body.
Like I'm 6'6", 220 pounds. I'm just going to move you out of the way. Like that's something that I think that these guys, as smart as hockey players can be sometimes in a hockey sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to tap into your caveman brain sometimes and just be like, I'm big, I'm going to move you out of the way. It's hard to teach, but I think it's something that as, we've seen Louis Crevier get, this is the most he's ever played in the NHL.
Yeah.
Alex Vlasic is, approaching that 300 game plateau. Levshunov, this is the most he's played in the NHL. Like those are things that you just kind of learn with more experience, more reps, and just, physical maturity. And I know you can only use that excuse for so long, right. but it is something that like you do have to get used to. And there's something with the forwards as well. Like Frondell is going to be a guy that like, he's not the biggest hulkingest forward, but he's strong and he's 18. Like, he's going to continue to physically mature, and he's going to be able to kind of realize how he can use his body positively as more of a power forward guy. So it'll come with time, but especially with the defensemen like Crevier and Vlasic, they've got to kind of understand that a lot sooner than a guy like Levshunov.
Crevier, by the way, 1948 of ice time, a shot, 2 shot attempts, 2 hits, was tagged for 2 giveaways. But we're talking about like the toughness thing too. You know, that's brought up a lot with Alex Vlasic. Like, well, he's soft. People call Alex Vlasic soft a lot, especially when we're having the captain or alternate captain conversation. Mm-hmm. To have 3 block shots and lead the team in block shots that's not what a soft defenseman does. I know people want to see him lay people out. He will never be Tom Wilson. No. That part of his game just isn't there. But the decision to lay down in front of a puck demonstrates toughness. The willingness to clear a crease, be it rudely or politely, demonstrates toughness, right? So I think those are the sort of things that, as any young defenseman, I think Alex Vlasic, crazy enough, still qualifies as that. If he was on the Capitals or the Penguins or the whoever, he would still be considered a young defenseman by pretty much every measure. So he's not fully developed either. It's something that all these guys can sort of adopt. It is a willingness. And I think that's part of, as we started the show, talking about this winning attitude that Jeff Blashill is instilling. That goes along with it. Are you willing to sacrifice for your team, for your teammates? And I wanted to say too, like today we saw Wyatt Kaiser take a hit in the corner, and Tyler Bertuzzi was right there, and the whole team was right there. And Bertuzzi took a penalty. Fine, okay. I don't care. There's a time and a place to take a penalty when it's warranted, because you've got to show other teams that you will respond when something like that happens. So I've been despite the third period, I'm very pleased with what I've seen from them lately. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's growth. That's going to be the main focus of this group to close this season and going into next season, is just growth in their games, and just getting more comfortable playing in the NHL and playing in high pressure situations and playing at a speed and pace and physicality that a lot of guys haven't before or haven't done for this stretch of time. So it's gonna still have some stepping stones to reach. But a moment like that is something that, like, you know, we've seen from this group, especially since the trade deadline, how many times that they've had opportunities to kind of like, hey, Bedard's getting pushed around, jumping in there. And, you know, tonight it was Bertuzzi stepping in for Kaiser, and, you know, Crevier jumped in, and you had the whole group get in there. So it's just like that collective, like, you know, group mentality of, like, you know, feeling like they're together, and you know, the term brotherhood gets thrown around a lot. I feel like this young group has that, and now it's just kind of like, now they're this unit that's going to be going through all these growing pains and experiences together.
Unit. Hey, let's go to the Frathouse. We haven't gone there in a couple games. Fire it up, Chloe. Hell yeah. No surprise, 18-year-old Anton Frondell is our featured frat boy. 1 assist, 5 shot attempts, 15:44 of ice time for him. Was also credited with a hit and a block shot. Solid debut. Impressive assist. Had a couple impressive moments. I cannot wait to see what this kid turns into. I cannot wait. And just another reminder that tomorrow, Steve Peters from Inside the Coach's Room will join us with some Frondell breakdown.
Frunderful.
Cheese. I don't know.
We're
trying to get a nickname.
Frondelicious.
Can well, like Frondy?
Nickname is Franzi.
Franzi?
I think so. That's what I would say.
That's lost on the kids. Yeah. Do you know who Fonzie is, Chloe?
Kind of. But I think of
that statue in Milwaukee. That's who it is.
Isn't there a Muppet character named?
A what?
A Muppet character?
That's Fozzie.
Fozzie. That's what I'm thinking
Also a
of.
band headlined by Chris Jericho.
That's true.
You know what Chris Jericho is?
No.
Oh, boy. Gonna have to break the walls down in here.
I'll do my research.
Yeah, we can do some lion tamers. We have a couple more super chats we got to get to. We want to do that before we're done. While we're doing that, there's 2 things you can do. vote for our Game Day Men's Health Game Puck nominee because it's close at last check.
There's a lot of good nominees.
Yeah, so do it. Nazar, Lardis, Soderblom, Frondell. Let's get a winner here. And hit that like button. We're already over 425. I love that. Keep them going. All right, Super Chats here. Skate Salem, $5, says Frondell will have more points than Burakovsky by the end of the season. Now, that would be something.
Over an 82-game season, Frondell is on pace for 82
points.
assists.
Yep.
No goals, 82 assists.
That's fine. Well, we've been told he's not a playmaker.
Ultimate
What
playmaker.
gives? Interesting.
Someone pointed out.
31 points for Burakovsky, by the way.
Someone pointed out Lardis tonight, 3 points, has more points than Burakovsky has in his last 27 games.
Well, he's showing us a lot of good stuff on tape, though.
I don't want to not.
I know.
Just score another one, Andre, and we'll all feel better.
That'd be good. That would be nice. Yeah. Windy City Hockey, our guy who probably has already ordered his number 15 Frondell jersey. What color did you get, Windy?
For sure.
Says that third period definitely showed how young they were versus a veteran Islanders team. Congrats to Frondell's first point and Lardis 3-point game. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look, and I'll warn you too. Next year's there's gonna be nights like that. If this is the 7D they go with, and also one of them is Kevin Korchinski, there's going to be a lot of 50 burgers up on that scoreboard.
Shots, yeah.
Yes, not goals.
No, it's going to be like that. But at the end of the day, they got the win, and they did it in regulation, which is good because they've been losing a lot of overtime and shootout games this year. But yeah, I mean, being able to close games, even though it didn't look great, they finished with the win, and that's again progress for these young guys to get the experience of like, okay, you were up 4-1. You kind of blew it, but you didn't.
No, you did not.
You were on the path to blowing that game.
Congrats on not blowing
but
it.
you hung on as long as you could, as long as you needed to. But now it's just like that next step is just like when you have a 3-goal lead, don't let the team back in.
No.
Like, be able to just ride it out without allowing anything. And if you get good enough, maybe you get a 5th goal and you have a 4-goal lead. And boy, a 4-goal lead sounds a lot better than a 3-goal lead.
Now you're talking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. A couple more. Madhouse Meek, $10, says I'm all hyped up on Frondardis Dew. All right. I've also given hell to Sodi. The man has stood on his head through the last 2. Been busy with work, but this feels good. Thank you, CHGO, as always. Thank you, Madhouse Meek. And Joseph Moore Hazlitt, for $2, says, I've seen enough. Welcome back, the Blackhawks dynasty. And I think Chloe made it.
No, that's not. That's 2 separate things.
Joseph
gave us $2, but
didn't
see
say
if there's
anything.
another comment.
There's not. It says that his comment was removed by YouTube, so I have no idea what it was.
He said something about,
naughty.
You know what?
Yep.
I actually don't know what, but
I can assume at this point.
Bad. Anyway, and Pat Season says, I've seen enough. Welcome back, the Blackhawks dynasty.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Welcome
we got another cool graphic for you somewhere. I don't know. You're the producer. Don't tell me what. You showed it to us earlier. It's there somewhere. There it is.
There it is. The dynasty. It's back.
Beautiful. If you're listening to the podcast, which is an audio-only medium, it would help if we describe these images. On your left is Anton Frondell and Connor Bedard giggling.
Smiling.
And then on your right is Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane.
Their rookie year.
Conversing in their rookie year.
You can tell by the William Wirtz patches on their jerseys.
Yes. And probably a lack of a C for Toews there, right?
Well, yeah, it would be on his left chest side, but we can't see it there. Yeah. He was what, alternate captain by the end of that season? His rookie year? Because then I feel like he, by the end of that year, was alternate, because then it was the next year he was named captain, right?
I think so.
This is the summer of 2008. And Patrick Kane also wearing CCM. Didn't see that very often.
Yeah, that was a
that was a
thing.
1-year thing. Man, that's a blast from the past. But yeah, I mean, I talked about it in the pregame, like a 1st overall pick and a 3rd overall pick, and 2 guys that I feel like their games complement each other really well. Getting the opportunity the first time they get to play together on the same line, a lot of parallels with Toews and Kane, and I think it's definitely starting to feel like, as we've done basically since the inception of CHGO, is what's the future going to look like compared to the dynasty? And the pieces now that are here starting to feel closer to the puzzle that was put together back in the day. Now, obviously, both groups will be their own things.
Of course.
But you start to look at, like, okay, who's the cornerstones? Who's the complementary players? Who's this player profile? Who's a Patrick Sharp? Who's going to be, the Nicholas Chalmerson? Who's going to be the Dave Bolin? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like we still don't have those answers with this new group, but you're starting to see the guys that you can point to and be like, this guy could be that. This guy, like, you piece together what this next group could be, and you can see the role players and the superstars and who it all could shake out to be and where it could go, and it's very exciting.
It is, and it's also a reminder, though, I was thinking about this driving into, like, you can even get everything right in your rebuild, and all your pieces can work out, and it still might not be a cup.
How many cups do the San Jose Sharks have?
How about the Oilers?
Recently? Recently, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's some really good. Look how long it took Ovechkin and those Capitals teams to
and
finally get there.
But you look at these Oilers, and you've got Connor McDavid is exactly what was advertised. Zach Hyman scores 50 goals for you. You've had Ryan Nugent-Hopkins forever, and he's been really good. Like, and it's, their D's a little weak, and their goaltenders suck. But, like, you can do really well in the draft and really well and get yourself to one game of winning the Stanley Cup and never get it. So, that it's an important reminder that and I've done it twice this show, as we go back and compare things at a dynasty, it's pretty unlikely that that's ever going to be matched again. But you want to give yourself a shot. Your thought is that every year you've got a shot to compete for the Stanley Cup, and hopefully, if guys keep maturing the way they have been, you're going to get there. And especially if they go and add something this summer. Go add some immediate help.
They might. There's some chatter in
a lot of smoke
chat and around Blackhawks online world of what to do if they're not number 1 or number 2 in the draft lottery.
I would trade it. Not for anyone, but if we're talking about a 23 to 26-year-old franchise player.
Here's my question with that, though. When do you trade it?
I do it at the draft.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah,
if you're at the draft lottery and you like land at 4, are you immediately like, no matter what, we're trading this pick? Because if you take it to the draft,
no, I'm not saying no matter what, but like I am massively pursuing one of the names we've talked about ad nauseum, Matthew Nyes, Jason Robertson, Robert Thomas, or someone in that realm.
Yeah. So
point per game plus
another player could, be put on the trade block or anything. I think my thing with it is we don't know for certain how the top of the draft is going to play out. You've seen a lot.
Sure with 1 and 2 though.
I mean, I'm only going off of, public scouts and analysts and all that stuff, but how you shake out Schaefer and Stenberg and Reed and Veroff, and Carson Carrolls and those guys, like, it's starting to get varied. Like, I'm starting to see people say, like, oh, McKenna's back to being unanimous number 1, and Stenberg's fallen down to like 4 and stuff like that.
Great.
And like, Chase Reed, Chase Reed is number 1 now on people's boards and stuff. So it's just like, it just kind of and again, it comes down to how the NHL scouts and GMs and all that see things. But as we see kind of like different trends within the analysts and scouting community, like, it can reflect. Because those guys talk to executives too.
Yeah.
They get the input from NHL scouts as well. So as it starts to kind of shift and vary, like, it might not be just like stake in the ground. If Hawks aren't 1 or 2, toss the pick for a trade. Which, look, if you can use that pick to get a player like a Nyes, Robertson, or Thomas, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
absolutely. But I think if you're saying it's not 1 or 2 because you're thinking for certain McKenna, Stenberg, McKenna, however you want to piece it together is 1, 2. I don't think that that's set in stone yet. So the conversation of like, if they don't get 1 or 2, do you automatically trade it? I take it right to the pick.
Well, I'm sure
if
that
they're at 4 and it's just like McKenna, Reed, and then, anything's on the table if Stenberg's still there or whoever. Like, I think you play that.
Yeah.
You play that as slow as possible because you don't know how it's going to shape.
If he is in love with Stenberg or McKenna or whoever it might be, then you sit on it and see if they're gone. And then as soon as those picks are made, pick up the phone. All right, I'm ready.
Right.
Let's go.
And obviously, deals are put in place before they're actually executed sometimes. But yeah, like I don't know. For me, it's not a guarantee you move the pick. You have the conversation, of course.
Yeah.
Because you got to have all options open. Or you just, they could just be like very, very comfortable if they don't get Stenberg or McKenna feeling like, well, Chase Reed or Veroff or whoever is going to be a guy that steps in like almost immediately, not immediately, but like plays like is 1 year away from being on our NHL roster. And if they feel that is the value they can get from that pick, I'm not going to hate that because there's many other options that they can go through with trying to add talent to this group, if at all, because next season could be, as we mentioned in the pregame show, Ovi Clapbaum's dream come true, where it's all draft picks.
All 12 forwards, all 6
skaters.
defensemen.
So we'll see. We're at the most fascinating part of the rebuild, and it's just kind of figuring out where these young guys go and how these puzzle pieces start to fit
Would you
together.
do got to do Moore's trade and trade a first-round pick and a prospect for Matthew Olivier?
No.
Me neither.
No.
That's what he said.
No.
Got to do more. Matthew Olivier for a first.
No, Nyes. Matthew Nyes, not Matthew Olivier.
Yeah.
No.
The good Matthew.
I'm not doing Matthew Olivier.
Or Austin Matthews.
First. Sure. Any of the Maple Leafs that you want to send to Chicago, most of them will take. Most of all,
except Craig Berube.
Jake McCabe. We'll take him back for all the first-round picks in the world.
All right. We have a winner in our Game Day Men's Health Game Puck. Better father, better husband, better man. Go to Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. Nick Lardis.
Oh, okay.
That's an upset.
I
thought if Soderblom didn't win, it was going to be Frondell for sure.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
He certainly deserved it, though.
Good for Nick Lardis. How so?
Was it close?
No.
Oh, he got smoked. Frank Nazar got smoked.
Frank Nazar has 2% of the votes.
Ooh, thanks for watching the show, Frank. We actually know his mom and sister watch the show all the time.
Yeah, big fans.
I bet those are the 2% that voted for him.
Could be.
Could be.
Were there 100 votes?
Ooh, nice.
Geez. Okay.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, apparently we're not getting a post-game video. I've been frantically refreshing, looking for it. So a couple of little thoughts here before we wrap things up. Jeff Blashill on Nick Lardis says, I think Lardis' game Sunday was his best game, and this one might have been better.
3 points is a pretty good way to go.
Jeff Blashill on fixing things says, quote, we've got a chance tomorrow to meet and go through some things that we could have done a better job of in the third. We shot ourselves in the foot a little bit, which allowed them momentum, but we do that with 2 points under our belt, which is a great thing. That's also true.
How many points do they have on the season now?
67.
Doing the thing.
Anton Frondell on his debut.
Can we get 82 games of that? Could we get through 82 games of doing that and having it be funny? Because it's still funny to me.
It's not. Anton Frondell, after the game, says, it still feels like a dream. My first shift, I felt like, oh, wow, this is going really fast. Barzal there, when he comes at you at high speed, it's hard to know what to do, but I just try my best, try to compete. There you go.
Yeah, he figured it out.
He had a really, really solid
slow
debut.
down for him.
Really solid debut, and I can't wait to see Thursday when he's in the lineup and Sasha Boisvert's in the lineup, and just another piece and another look at the very, very near future for the Blackhawks. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a good time. All right, we are going to wrap things up. We are going to be back tomorrow at 3, reminding you again that we're going to have Petey on to break down Anton Frondell's debut. We also asked him, before we knew this was going to be his debut, to take a look at what's changed on the Hawks power play, because while they haven't scored on the power play in a while, it's certainly been more effective in terms of getting in the zone and getting set up. I think they've just been a little snake bit on the power play as opposed to completely hapless. So we'll see what he has to say about that. So that show is at 3 tomorrow. And then, of course, we'll be on for Hawks and Flyers on Thursday, 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock puck drop. And by the way, if you're going to the PWHL game tomorrow, look for me and my family. We'll be there. It's going to be a good time. Nice. Seattle and New York playing at the Rosemont Horizon. Yeah, that's right. That's what I called it.
That's Hillary Knight, right?
For she is hurt, but yes, it is her team. Yeah. So it's going to be a good time. If you're there, say hi. If not, we'll talk to you tomorrow at 3 or Thursday on the pregame show on CHGO Blackhawks.
We all silly like the mayor.